Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome to YouTube. My name is SeaRaptor, and today we're going to bring you a recent game that I played in Tier 10 Premium Russian Super Cruiser, Stalingrad. Now, a lot of words and time have been expended talking about this ship across the interwebs over the years, because Stalingrad's a pretty controversial ship, probably even today. Certainly, she had a very long and troubled development cycle. She went through a lot of different iterations. What were we trying? What were we going to do with this thing? She was highly coveted because she was the big reward for the first 3 seasons of clan battles. And a lot of people would probably still argue that the end result, the final release ship, is kind of overpowered. I personally don't feel that way. She certainly has a set of quite a number of weaknesses, and as with any ship that is perceived to be OP, the players of the game just, adapted and developed strategies to deal with the thing. And, well, we are where we are today. Now, I don't play my Stalingrad very much. This game is actually a bit of an oddity for me. I don't tend to play it in clan battles. I usually am playing an Henri or something else. But I don't even really take it out in randoms very much because I tend to simply not enjoy the way this ship plays. Stalingrad, like Des Moines, like Salem, like Iowa and North Carolina, they favor a very bow-on, stationary, island-hugging playstyle. And that's not who I am as a player. I don't enjoy that. I'm capable of playing that way, but I do it with just a grimace on my face the whole time. Because to me, I'm driving a ship. If I wanted to drive an island battery, I would not be playing a different game. So, I start off here on Mountain Range, on the west. Obviously, you can see here my inexperience with the ship, because I have no idea where to put it on the map in order to really use these guns. I know I want this island cover here, but I don't realize that my guns aren't going to fire over this island because the arcs are so flat, I can't even get over that little shallow part right there at the end, just because I'm too close to the darn thing. So it takes me a couple of minutes to kind of get oriented here, and I do manage. My initial thinking is, all right, I'll play this ship the way it's quote-unquote meant to be played. The way conventional wisdom says you're supposed to play this ship. I'm going to come up here, I'm going to hug an island, I'll cover the cap with radar, and I'll be here when this Asashio, who's contesting the cap, if there's a destroyer up here, I can spot him and maybe get some shells on him, and do the radar cruiser, stationary radar cruiser thing. But as the game develops, circumstances are going to change. And that entire strategy is pretty much gonna get dumped on. For the moment, though, I'm trying to make this work. This is not something I do a lot of. I'm not super comfortable with it, but I'm trying to make it work because logic and wisdom tell me that this is how the ship should be played, right? So this is what I should be doing. So I'm trading shots with this angled Montana. I'm getting some decent pens on him. Not great ones, but decent. I have no shot on the gearing that I know was in the cap. And eventually you can see there's a Montana on the 10 line. I can know eventually that I'm going to get flanked unless we turn that guy around. I can tell there's a Wooster in the back somewhere farming my HP with his HE spamminess because, well, that's what you do in a Wooster, especially against a Stalingrad. But lucky for me, they're struggling to get shells over in exactly the right spot, and I'm trying to play some vision games with this Montana. I'm popping in and out. Planes do pick me up again. But as I start to realize, you see the Yamato coming this way. Again, hello, torpedoes. What are you doing? No, that's... What the hell? Yeah, that's clearly a bug. But, the Yamato's coming this way. There's already a Montana. 2 Montanas over here. At least 1 Wooster. There's gearing in the cap. The Yamato's astern of me, but the Seattle's running. And so is the Asashio now. You see him over on my port side bugging out of the cap. He's had enough. This doesn't necessarily look like a position I can or am going to be able to hold. So, I decide, all right, well, if everybody else is going to leave, I'm not going to get caught with no chair left when the music stops, so I start reversing with the intention of getting out of here and just, being somewhere else. The Woosters, blessedly, in the meantime, farming the Yamato. I'm glad they're not farming me. That's really all I care about. Pick on somebody else, As I back up just far enough to start to get flipped around. Now, I'm about to show this Montana a beautiful broadside shot, so I'm expecting to take some punishment as I make this move, but I can't sit here. If I sit here, I'm just as dead. So this is a risk that I basically have to take because of the position that I've put myself in at this exact moment. Since he hasn't fired yet and I'm continuing to angle, I'm feeling a lot better now. He does have some shells coming in. Oh man, there's some really good dispersion in that group. Okay, that could have been way worse. 7K, I'll take it. It's not too bad. So now we can see also there's an Alaska back here. So 3 battleships, another super cruiser, at least 1 Worcester, although I think there might actually be 2. There's a lot of shells in the air for there to be just 1 Worcester. But I'm bugging out, I'm retreating, and we're only 90 seconds from the cyclone. Now, if you were listening to me gab and not paying attention to the heads-up display, you might have missed the point where the game told me there was a cyclone coming in. But there is. And that's yet another reason I don't want to get caught up there, because that's just going to give all those other ships essentially a free rein to charge me when I can't see them and take shots at them until they're already in front of me. Even, a Worcester closing to 8 clicks of me, that's a fight I'll probably lose. He'll just burn me down just by rate of fire. He's putting out 10 salvos for every one of mine, essentially. Just insane. So I'm just going to pull south here. I'm going to let the cyclone kick in, and I'm going to reevaluate the game and figure out where I'm at. The Yamato over on the tin line has done the same thing. The Iowa, who was moving to back us up, has made a similar decision, as it's very clear that we are tremendously outnumbered at the C cap, and there's no point in hanging around. Most of our firepower, you can look at the map and see, is over at the A cap. So the good news is those guys are finally managing to get ahead of the enemy ships over at A. They've just bagged their first kill of the game. Here as we go 6.5 minutes in, enemy Montana's dead, and they're pushing that Neptune kind of out of the way here. The Asashio that was in C and left has been trying to work the B cap and is about to be backed up at closer range by a friendly Seattle. That's going to give him an advantage that he badly needs. In the meantime, I've switched to HE and I'm working on this angled Monty, figuring, well, everybody else is firing HE at him. I might as well too. Because literally, I think the Iowa was firing HE at him as well. The enemy team is very obviously bagged to C. We all left, so that was simple. We picked up another kill now as the Neptune finally bites it. And I get a decent salvo there out of the HE. Like, Stalingrad's HE is not what you want to be using, right? But it does in a pinch against certain targets, certainly at this kind of angle. The Sashio, the Seattle, and our Enterprise all triple team the Leningrad, the Lightning that was in B. And so now that's going to leave the Asashio free to get back in there and cap, which he is doing as we speak, which is very, very good to see. Now that I'm back on the I line, and the cyclone is starting in earnest, I figure I've given them enough space. I don't want to be too far south, or it'll take me too long to get back into the game to be useful once the weather sets in. As it is, I'm probably going to have salvos on this Montana as he comes around. Let's see. I've got the HE loaded, so I go ahead and just get rid of it. But if he's going to maintain that angle, I'm absolutely going to load this AP, baby. That's going to be a beautiful salvo. Do manage to get some fires there. That's nice to see. Spotting distance starting to drop now. You can see it there, 22, 21, 20. It'll drop about 1 kilometer every couple seconds till we get all the way down to 8 kilometers. We're now up 5 ships. This is nice. And I guess we get a really solid salvo on the Montana. So now, the team at A is completely free to do pretty much whatever they want. There's nothing left literally on that half of the map for them to shoot at. So, the Seattle is stuck in B. The Asashio is wisely bugging out. And I'm going to move up and try and either slow down or try and prevent some of this push, at least damage these guys as they move from C to B. They've obviously reoriented themselves in that fashion. The Seattle is basically dead. He's got too many ships up in his face. He's not oriented to kite. He's oriented bow on. And although I can't see him now that the weather has set in, I know that it's only a matter of time until somebody gets his number and he'll be out. The team over at A is starting to reorient themselves, so the Asashio has backed off to the southwest corner of the map. Yep, there goes the Seattle. That was kind of inevitable. So at this point, my goal is to try and play a little bit of delaying action, maybe get a pot shot or two, because I have my radar, and they don't exactly know where I am. So I'm maneuvering up here to get the majority of their forces within my radar bubble. They already are, essentially. So now I'm just trying to get my guns around so that I can get some shots. But I don't want to move into the cap. I want to continue to pull back to the east. My goal right now is to get over into the C cap and try and back cap C behind them. I've got a beautiful shot on the Alaska, but I make a horrible mistake here as the radar goes up, and I'm overturning my turrets. I forget to slow down the turn, and that could have been a much better salvo than it ends up being. I still get about 7k off of him. Well, 9k, but it could have been way, way bigger. I see the gearing, but I opt instead for the Montana. I got one more salvo off. I'll get one more salvo off before the radar dries up. Here it goes, but I'm not going to get to see the results of it. I'm going to have to watch the damage. 61.8, 47 to 78.8, 67. So a 17,000 point salvo there on the Montana right at the end. And he's got an Asashio in his face. One, maybe two of those torps. Yep, there he goes. That's all it takes. And the Montana is off the board. So our 5-ship lead is maintained. Yamato is close. Thankfully, there is some cover, and he cannot shoot at me. But he knows I'm here now. I would have popped up on his minimap with the plane spotting me briefly, so he knows where I am. Right now, I'm taking a blind shot at the Alaska. I'm trying to aim by the minimap. I do manage to randomly grab a pin, a full pin, but that's all I could do. And in the end, I opted, you know what? Let's just stop shooting for a minute so that these guys lose sight of me. Because now, with the team over at A has they're moving back through the picket fence of the mountain range. I want to get into C and slam the door behind these guys. I don't want to give them anywhere to retreat. I don't want to give them any hope that they can back up. If they want to come back to C, I want to be there waiting for them with 9 guns of 12 inches, 12-inch pane. That's my goal here. I'm trying to make sure that as I come into the cap, though, that I'm able to still spot things in front of me. Because, again, I'm only getting 8-kilometer spotting range here. I catch a glimpse of the Worcester. He sees me, but I think he's turning. Oh, Worcester. Oh, Worcester. No, I'm not sorry. Eat it! 35k into him. And I've managed to also catch the Yamato with his pants down. Now, his guns are turning this way. That's not surprising. He knew where I was. But look at this broadside shot he's giving me. And with my armor and my bow armor, his guns don't scare me in the least. We start off with 2 Citadels and some pens. I take his first salvo on the belt. Doesn't really get much out of it. His secondaries are really doing more damage than anything to me right now. He manages to disable my stern turret. I do pop the repair. I want all of my guns in action for this. I don't want this Yamato to linger any longer than he has to. Salvo number 2 goes in for 2 more sits and 5 more pens, another 30k. I'm also getting some help now from the Iowa and the Yamato. Probably the Iowa. The Yamato's probably not in spotting range yet. And now, with him under 25k, I realize it's not going to take me much more. I don't need the stern turrets. And here we go. Look at that dispersion. And, yep. 60 seconds after I started shooting at him, there is no more Yamato. We're up 4 ships still, but things are going south very, very, very quickly for the enemy team as they find themselves fully enveloped in the B-cap in bad weather with nowhere to run. Worcester in front of me over here is turning back to starboard, which is going to be the last mistake that he gets to make. Look at that dispersion. That is just filthy. Just filthy. And there's still one more Worcester in the cap. I'm trying to get my guns around for him because he looks like he's about to start turning and give me a great shot. Yes, he is. Come on, RNG. Give it to me, baby. Dang it. No Citadels. That could have been really good, but the North Carolina is going to beat me to it. As I steam into the B-cap, the enemy Graf Zeppelin comes in for a rocket strike, but it's kind of too little too late at this point. We have a 6-ship lead. We'll bag B very easily. There's nothing to stop us from bagging C. The game is essentially over. Raptor, why are you showing me this steamroll? Well, 2 reasons. One is because it's kind of fun, right? We were having a little competition within the clan. If you've watched me on Twitch, you know that last month we ran a fairly long competition for who could come up with the best base XP in Tier 5 British Cruiser Emerald. I think I managed to scrape second in that one with a game that I had 2,200 base XP. This month, our internal clan contest is who can come up with the most Citadels in a single game. I'm pretty confident that our winner right now is our leader at the moment has had 16 Citadels and a Fiji, which is also a really good choice for this. But I don't play a lot of Stalingrad, and for some reason I just felt compelled to take this ship out and give her a go. The other reason is, well, just like I said, I don't play this ship very often. I felt the need. I was like, this thing's been sitting in my port. I earned it. Might as well play it. So if you're working towards a Stalingrad, man, keep at it. She is a fun ship. She's not as grossly OP as everybody thinks. She has her weaknesses, but she is fun to play. And as you've seen this game, you don't have to play her as a traditional, camping cruiser, island hugging moron. You can absolutely play her. She's really, really great at kiting. Actually, she's a real dirty kiter when she wants to be. I'm not going to make you sit through the rest of the game. The enemy carrier is literally sitting in the corner of the map. We equip some damage and when the game ends. But there you go, guys. Stalingrad in the nasty weather, taking advantage of things and taking care of business. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that one. Keep your eye around. I've got some more videos in the works here. I should have the Yoshino report out. If it's not out already, I'm not sure what order I'm going to release these in, but that'll be coming. Scuttlebutt and all the rest of that stuff. So anyways, guys, really appreciate you watching. See you around the channel, and be safe out there.